And now I see that the color of the object is, the sphere is yellow, and this is purple. So if I touch it, it will be game over. So if I click on game and go up, look, I get a game over message. Okay, so that's when you will bring up the menu for game over. Excellent. But obviously, there's no way to win right now because the object is not moving, but we're going to make sure that it moves. All right, so now we're going to take care of making the object move left and right. And we're going to create a script to do so. Okay, now there are multiple ways to do that. You can create a script that says what is the range of left or right that it can move, or what is the direction that it's moving in. Okay, so let's go ahead and do a horizontal move. How do we do that? Well, we're going to create a new script. So inside of the red rectangle, I'm going to add a component, and I'm going to call this one horizontal movement, so new script, and the script name will be horizontal movement script. Okay, horizontal movement script, create and add. And now I'm going to double click on it to set it up, right? So to be able to set this up, I need to say how much distance can it go left and how much distance can it go right. And to be honest, we're going to assign this to the actual parent of this object. So it wouldn't be the red rectangle itself, it will be its parent. So I can go ahead and already remove that script from, so remove component from the red rectangle and add it to the horizontal bar. Add component and add the horizontal movement script. That's it. Now we're going to say how much left and right it will move and the direction. Okay, so public, let's create float values for that. So float, range, so range max, and let's put a default of, let's say, 10. Okay, that might be a bit too much, but that's good enough for now. And then we're going to put the direction. So public, float, direction. And by default, the direction would be 1, meaning that it goes right. But if I put a -1, it's going to go left. And now what I want to do is get the initial distance. Public, float, initial position on the, since it's moving left and right, it's on the x-axis. Okay, how do I know that? Well, I can just take the bar and move the position left and right. Okay, so it's the x-axis. All right, so initial position x. Okay, now in the start, I'm going to do initial position x is equal to this dot transform dot position dot x. Okay, it's that easy. And now what I want to do is move the object. Now, how do I move the object? Well, I can go in the update and start moving it by doing this dot transform dot position dot, dot position is equal to new vector 2. Why vector 2? Because we're in 2D, and the vector would be the x, which would be this dot transform dot position dot x, plus what do we add here? We add the we're going to add an increment times the range. Okay, so that would be the direction times time dot delta time. So so we have the delta at which it's moving times the speed. So we're going to add a speed that we don't have yet. Okay, and then the y-axis won't move, so it's just this dot transform dot position dot y. Now let me press enter here so that you guys can easily see it. All right. All right, so now we have the x and the y. The speed is red because we don't have it, so let's create the speed right above public float speed. And let's put the speed to, let's say, 100 for now, and let's save that. Okay, so now let's take a look at what's happening here. Now, I already know there's going to be some problems, but let's take a look at what we have. I'm going to Unity, and I'm going to I'm going to press play and go to the scene so that you guys can see what's happening. Now, as you can see, the bar is nowhere to be seen because it's moving, but like super fast. And we can easily fix that by changing the speed. How do we change the speed? Well, we select the horizontal bar and let's put a speed of, let's say, 1. Okay, and let's press play now. And check this out. If you go to the scene, okay, so just for the sake of learning, I'm going to move the camera so that we can see things better. Okay, so in the camera, I'm going to put the size a lot bigger so that we can have a better view of what's happening. All right, it might be a bit smaller, but it's better to see. Now I'm going to press play and look. You guys see it's moving. Okay, so it's going to the right side. Now it's going a bit too slow, so I'll have to make it faster. But at some point, I want it to be moving back to the other direction. So I need to test the range that it's going at. Okay, so how do we do this? Well, we have the range max. So how much distance that it needs to move first. And the range max is 10 at first. So what we need to do is test it. And we can easily test that with where it is right now. Okay, and we can test it right below and say if we're going to test if it went too far. If this dot transform dot position dot x is greater than the initial position x plus the range max, then guess what? And if it's too much, then guess what? We change the direction. We change the direction to the opposite direction. Direction is equal to -1. And now we're going to try the other way. If this dot transform dot position dot x minus range max is, so the position minus the range max is, I'm sorry, if the position is less than the range max, than the initial position minus the range max, then that means that we need to change the position to the other side, which means the direction is equal to 1. All right, I'm not 100% sure here of the logic, so we're going to test that. I'm going to save this, and I'm going to try that. Going back to Unity, I'm going to make it go a little bit faster by selecting the horizontal bar, and at the speed, instead of being 1, I'm going to put it to 3. All right, I'm going to press play now, and let's see. So we see the bar that keeps going, and as soon as it hits the other side, then as soon as it hits the range, it goes to the other side. Now let's see, if it goes to -10, it should go. Yep, that's perfect. Okay, so I can make it faster so that you guys can see it. Okay, so I'm increasing the speed. Okay, I see that a speed of 6 is pretty good. All right, excellent. So we're going to keep going with a speed of 6.5. That might be actually a bit too 5, so I'm going to go with 6. All right, so the speed would be 6.